Council meeting at March 4th, 2019. Our first order of business is to elect a presiding officer. Are there any nominations from the floor?
Chair.
Yes.
Nominate Councilmember Perkins.
Second.
Any other nominations? All right, we'll have a roll call vote. Councilmembers Huff,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
DeLucy,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Van Camp, Mayor Weir. All right, Councilmember Perkins, you're the presiding officer tonight.
Thank you for this great high honor. We are at the council meeting of March 4th, 2019. We are at the invocation with Lupi Mo, who will be giving us the invocation. And please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our kind Heavenly Father, we are grateful to be here this day at the beginning of this City Council meeting, and we are grateful for all that we have, for the blessings of living here in Independence and for all the things that we enjoy. And we're especially thankful for our leaders and all those that are present in this cold weather. And we're also thankful for having one of the best water places in the world. And we ask thee that thy Spirit be with us, that we will make good, wise choices, and that we will be mindful of things happening in our city, and to please bless those in this cold weather, that they will be protected and safe. And we ask you to bless each person here at our meeting, that they will add something useful. And these favors and blessings we ask thee for, in the name of thy beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Huff,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Doherty,
Here.
DeLucy,
Here.
Robertson,
Here.
Van Camp, Mayor Weir, absent.
This brings us to citizens' requests. We have one. Norvin Johnson requests to speak to the council regarding cab license requirements. Mr. Johnson?
Good evening, y'all. It comes to our attention here now that I've been driving for Checker Cab and Yellow Cab both for about the last 20 years here in Independence. Ever since then, Independence pretty much been going to what Kansas City has to do as far as get our license, which was number one, we had to have a background check done, which we still do in Kansas City. Two, we got to get a copy of our driving record, which we still have to do in Kansas City. The only thing we don't have to do in Kansas City now, what you guys are still saying we got to do it, and that is we got to go and we got to get a physical took. Kansas City don't ask for no more physicals. You guys still are. Physicals right now are $25. We're already paying about $35, $40 out of our pockets just to get our license. Without that, if we got to add more than that to our deal, because our businesses went down since Hoover's came into Independence and everything. Our business went way down, and we can't afford, all this cost it's costing us. And all we're doing is ask you to do like Kansas City did and do away with the physical part.
Okay. Mr. City Manager, can we take a look at those concerns and see what we can do to review those?
It'd be our pleasure. We'll report back to the council.
Thank you.
Okay, while we do this, can we ask if you'll give us a delay on getting our city license till we see if that'll work? Otherwise, they're saying we got to go ahead and get our license now.
Well, let us go ahead and do an internal review and see what maybe the best course of action may be for that. But we'll definitely take a strong review and look at that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming this evening. That brings us to presentations and resolutions.
Whereas the City Employee Recognition Program recognizes outstanding performance by employees of the City of Independence, and whereas Employee Committee selects the Employee of the Month for exhibiting the qualities and ideas that best represent public service, and whereas the Employee Recognition Committee has selected Laura Edgar, Staff Assistant in the Water Pollution Control Department, as the Employee of the Month for March 2019. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Independence, Missouri as follows: that the City Council of the City of Independence, Missouri joins in recognizing Laura Edgar as City of Independence Employee of the month of March 2019.
I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Huff?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
Doherty?
Yes.
DeLucy?
Yes.
Robertson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Congratulations. Still have some reading to do here,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Laura.
Laura Edgar has been with the City of Independence for almost 5 years, currently as a staff assistant in the Water Pollution Control Department, and has worked in the Health and Community Development Departments. Laura says what she likes most about her job is there is always something to do and something new to learn. Co-workers are awesome, and she thinks she has the best director and deputy director in the city. As goals, Laura says she likes to learn the new job duties that are assigned to her and continue to improve and provide quality work. Laura says the most valuable lesson learned is there's always something new and change in inevitability. Laura says no 2 days are the same, and she puts out fires as she gets them. Laura says without a doubt it's the people that make Independence a good place to work, live, and visit. Outside of work, Laura loves cooking Romanian dishes for her family and friends here. She also loves to travel back to Romania to see her family and friends left behind. Thank you for all your hard work. So that brings us to proclamations. Madam City Clerk.
Whereas the procurement profession plays a significant role in the efficiency of both government and business, and whereas in addition to purchase of goods and services, procurement adds value to the organization by performing such functions as executing, implementing, and administering contracts, developing strategic procurement strategies, and cultivating working relationships with suppliers and customers within the organization. And whereas public procurement professionals in the City of Independence and in other public and private organizations have tremendous influence on the economic conditions in the United States, with the cumulative purchasing power running into the billions of dollars. And whereas the Procurement Division of the City of Independence is committed to providing high-caliber, strategic, logistical, and operational support to all departments within the City of Independence. And whereas the Procurement Division of the City of Independence recognizes, supports, and practices the public procurement values and guiding principles of accountability, ethics, impartiality, professionalism, service, and transparency established by the NIGP, the Institute for Public Procurement, as fundamental tenets of the public procurement profession. And whereas NIGP has proclaimed the month of March as National Procurement Month to further expand the awareness of the role of procurement professionals to governmental officials, general public, businesses, and corporate leaders. Now therefore, Eileen N. Weir, Mayor of the City of Independence, Missouri, does hereby proclaim the month of March 2019 as Procurement Month in Independence, Missouri, and urges all citizens to join the City of Independence in recognizing the role of the purchasing and materials management profession within businesses, industry, and government. Yep, Russ.
Do we have anybody here? Oh, Russ, thank you. This brings us to our consent agenda.
Councilmember Perkins, I move to approve the reports and recommendations of the city manager.
Second.
And so moved and seconded. Does any member wish to have any items pulled
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to pull 19712 and 19713.
Any others? Hearing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll minus 19712 and 19713, please.
Councilmembers Huff,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Doherty.
Yes.
DeLucy.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeLucy.
19712 is a resolution telling the Jackson County Legislature that this, as a body, does not support a rezoning that's not within our jurisdiction. This first came to my attention a week or so ago, and I physically could not go to the rezoning hearing of the county. Therefore, I called the city manager and I asked the city staff could please go so that we would be informed of what the proposed rezoning was. Staff, in fact, did go to that rezoning, and I received a report regarding what was said and what the plans were. Since that time, I've talked to the representative for the applicant because the representative called me because this resolution was on our agenda. The applicant does not understand how this as a body could take a position when we've heard no testimony directly on this and it's not within our jurisdiction. I don't know if I oppose it or I don't oppose it. I do know that the Jackson County Legislature postponed the vote on this, as I understand it, for 1 week. I called the applicant's counsel and I asked if I could please meet with the counsel and the applicant in that week's period of time. I am going to meet with the applicant or his representative either today or Wednesday. I think it is premature for this body to take a position when we've had no testimony. I very much and strenuously oppose to 19712.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I was there at the county legislature meeting this afternoon, and they did postpone it for 1 week. I wish they would have done it just a little bit longer. We do have some issues that we would like to have addressed a little bit more. I don't think 1 week we can get it done. I was reached out by the representative to meet with them early next week. Late this week. So hopefully get some information as well. But
I just think it's premature for us as a body to vote against something when we don't know what the specifics of that something are, and it's not within our jurisdiction. I think it's very premature and arrogant for us to take that position.
it will have a high impact on us possibly. We need to get that ironed out for sure. Madam City Clerk? Oh, sorry. Any more discussion? Councilman Doherty.
Thank you. You know, I agree, mark this down, I agree with the other council member on this. I don't,
Wow.
mark this down, I agree
Honest
with
to
you on
goodness.
this. Let's just put this down and get a plaque or something made. But you're right, my understanding, what little I've found out about, that they're gonna put a lot of money in this area, you know, $6-8 million worth of work over there, which that's gotta help dog patch a little bit, but I think it's awful nervy for us to dictate what you're gonna do in some other person's backyard, to be like us dictating to Sugar Creek or Kansas City what they can and can't do without us knowing any particulars on it. And I think if we had some more information stating what they did and didn't want to do, as well as maybe input from zoning applicants of the, you know, what the neighbors all thought about it, then we could probably make a better informed decision. I think at this point in time, this decision's a little early and probably won't support this either. So, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, why don't you postpone it a little bit?
Okay, I move to postpone 19712 for 2 weeks.
Second.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, if we don't hear anything by then, we can pop it another 2 weeks.
Moved and seconded. Madam City Clerk, call the roll, please.
This is on a motion to postpone to the next regular council meeting on March 18th. Councilmembers Huff,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Doherty.
Yes.
DeLucy.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Sorry. Councilmember Doherty, you said yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Postpone it.
19713, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, is a resolution appointing someone to the PUAB board. Again, I'm Italian, I get emotional. The vacancy was created by the death of Randy Vest. Randy is a personal friend of mine. He died Thursday. It is Monday. His funeral is Friday. First, it is showing no respect for the Vest family or acknowledging the years of service Randy has given to this community. Second, I believe it is our job to get the most qualified person to a very important board such as the PUAB. I am not saying this person named in this resolution is not qualified. I'm saying maybe there's somebody more qualified. I do know it has not been advertised. I do know it's one of our most important boards. Again, I move to postpone this resolution for a period of 2 months to allow applicants to apply to the PUAB.
Second. Can I speak?
Yes, Councilman Roberson, please.
I thank you. I know all of us have lost loved ones, and Councilmember DeLucy, I'm sorry for the recent loss of your father.
Thank you very much.
Which also has occurred in the last week. But Randy Vest has been a valuable citizen of Independence. I'd like to read just a little bit about him. He was an employee of the City of Independence from 1967 to 1983. Randy has volunteered on the Japanese Sister City Committee for 30 years, the PUAB for 10 years. He's served our community for many years on numerous boards, clubs, and volunteering opportunities, including National Frontier Trails Museum tour guide, Chicago Alton Depot tour guide, Boys and Girls Club of Eastern Jackson County board member, Jackson County Election Board deputy, Jackson County Ethics Commission, American Water Works Association, and he's also hosted a couple foreign exchange students. So we want to recognize and thank Randy and his wife and family for his service to the City of Independence, to this community, and he will be missed. So we ask the city to remember Kathy and the family in your thoughts and prayers. And if we could, Mayor Pro Tem, could we have just 1 minute of silent prayer for Randy's family?
Yes, we can. If you'd like to keep the time on that.
Thank you.
And
Thank
a
you.
second to my motion.
I seconded the motion already.
I'm a motion.
Any other further discussion? Councilman Doherty.
Okay, I get what we're saying here, but it is, as the council member said, an important committee. I think 2 months is too far to drag it out. I won't support it unless you shorten the time frame up.
What do you want, Councilmember Doherty?
I wouldn't go no more than 2 cycles. That's, 2 meetings.
2 months, 1 month?
Yeah. And that's pushing it. That'd give plenty of time to advertise it and interview whoever you want to interview. But to leave it, if it's important, then let's not leave it open for 60 days.
Mr. City Manager, is a month reasonable for the staff to get this done?
Yeah, I think we can work with that timeline realistically.
With the council's indulgence, I'd like to amend my motion to shorten the time period to a month.
I'll let the record
Second.
reflect that. You. I too know Randy and worked well with him when I was on the council the first time. He was a heck of a director, quality stand-up guy, he'll be greatly missed. I do feel your emotion. Madam City Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilmembers Huff,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
DeLucy,
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
This brings us to our regular agenda, public hearings. Mr. Scannell.
Good evening. Tom Scannell, Community Development Director. There's no new information to report on this public hearing.
Any comments from the council? Councilman Doherty.
Mr. Scannell, can you give us some background on what the Planning and Zoning Committee had on this problem? It looks like they unanimously turned it down. Can you give us some background on what happened on this?
That is correct. So at the Plan Commission meeting, they heard from the applicant their request to continue to on with their rezoning to RA, which is residential agriculture. The sole purpose was to allow them to have taller grass, have animals at their at this property, as well to have barbed wire around their property. Staff was not supportive of that, and we expressed our concerns to the Planning Commission, and our concern was potential traffic that the fruit stand, market stand would generate along Salisbury Road, but also with the developed nature of the area where you have single-family homes in a typical platted subdivision across the street from this property, as well as the single-family homes on acre to 3 acre lots adjoining this property. The Planning Commission had recommended or did not support this. The vote was unanimous, and that's kind of a brief synopsis of what has transpired so far.
They want to put a fruit stand in there possibly, or?
Correct. That was one of the things that they wanted to put on this property.
I think the change the UDO, that can they not, you have to grow it on your property, don't you have a fruit stand? Didn't we change that, or it was changed fairly recently?
There was a recent change to that, and I believe what you recall is correct.
Because I kind of remember the discussion on that. People were buying bananas from Dirty Don, selling them in their front yard.
Correct. Yeah,
basically.
They were being grown from miles and miles away.
Yeah,
and
that's
being
what it
brought
was. Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other comments? No. I declare this public hearing closed. Madam City Clerk.
Bill number 19-014, an ordinance amending the zoning district map as to a tract of ground located at 19301 East Salisbury Road from District R6 Single Family Residential to District RA Residential Agricultural in Independence, Jackson County, Missouri. Second and final reading.
Any other further discussion? Madam City Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Huff,
No.
Perkins,
No.
Doherty,
No.
DeLucy,
No.
Robertson.
No.
Bill fails.
We move to our ordinances. This brings us to our second reading. Madam City Clerk.
Bill number 19-013, an ordinance amending the City of Independence Power and Light Department's schedules of electric rates to include an electric vehicle charging rate schedule, EV1, beginning March 1, 2019, under which electric utility service shall be furnished to all customers of Independence Power and Light at its public charging stations. Second and final reading.
Councilman.
Well, I had a couple of questions,
Sure.
but I don't see that they were answered from last time. So one of them was, what rate are we paying, are we being paid by Tesla for their charging stations? And the second is, what percent of this 20 cents goes to ChargePoint to administer the electric? So,
Councilman Van Camp had asked to delay this, and he's not able to Skype in. He's in Jeff City,
okay.
working on committee work there. So
Are you moving that?
I'll
no, I'm
move
just
to,
making the suggestion what he was wanting to have done.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm willing to put it off.
make a motion.
Let's move to delay it for 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks enough, City Manager?
Yeah.
Is that enough?
2 weeks would be sufficient, and staff would
Okay.
be appreciative.
Okay.
Second.
Also, on that, want to find out how we got that 20 cents, how it was calculated. I think that was one of the other issues there.
Yeah, I think there were about 3 or 4 questions the council made note of, and we would benefit from those additional 2 weeks.
any other further discussion? Madam City Clerk, can you call the roll on the motion, please?
This is a motion to postpone Bill number 19-013 to the council meeting on March 18th. Council members Huff?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
Doherty?
Yes.
DeLucy?
Yes.
Robertson?
Yes.
Motion passes. Bill number 19-015, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Inglewood Business Association for a license of the public area of the Inglewood Station Arts District and vicinity in connection with certain promotional events scheduled in 2019. Second and final reading.
Any discussion on this? Madam City Clerk, call the roll, please.
Council members Huff?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
Doherty?
Yes.
DeLucy?
Yes.
Robertson?
Yes.
Motion passes. Bill number 19-016, an ordinance vacating a portion of 2 utility easements located within Lot 77, Valley Brook 4th Plat, and Lot 33, Valley Brook 1st Plat, Lots 1 through 33, and resurvey of the Hidden Valley Acres, Lots 23 through 24, a subdivision in Independence, Jackson County, Missouri, also known as 17909 East Hidden Valley Road and 18001 East 31st Terrace. Second and final reading.
Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Council members Huff?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
Doherty?
Yes.
DeLucy?
Yes.
Robertson?
Yes.
Motion passes. Bill number 19-017, an ordinance authorizing approval of a purchase order with Traffic Control Corporation for the purchase of traffic signal controllers for the Independence Operation Green Light Controller Project, number 701-10704, for an amount not to exceed $118,990 and making project appropriations. Second and final reading.
Any questions or comments on this ordinance?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I do have questions.
Yes, Councilwoman.
And it's about money, of course, Mr. City Manager. We're going to go ahead and get some federal money back of about $95,000, I believe. And I could not tell from reading the ordinance, are we not going to spend our own money until we get that $95,000? Or do we advance the money and then we get a reimbursement from the federal government?
Tell you what, I will ask Tim Gramling to come up and clarify that for you. 1 minute.
Good evening, Council. Mayor Pro Tem, I'm Tim Gramling, Public Works Director. This is a federal reimbursement program, so we do pay the amount up front. We do get reimbursed, and that amount usually is within about 60 days or so from when it's got to go through state approval. We have to meet all their requirements and give them the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay, so the $95,000 that we're going to be reimbursed, is that going to go back to whatever pocket we pulled the $95,000 out of to begin with?
Yes.
Or does it go to the general fund, or where does it go?
it comes back to where we paid for it.
Okay, so if we use general fund money to pay for it, that 95 is reimbursed to the general fund.
Yeah, except in this case, it's street sales tax.
I only saw $25,000 from the street sales tax. So all of it's coming from street sales tax?
Initially, yes.
Okay, and then they're going to be reimbursed. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any further discussion? Councilman Doherty.
Okay. Except for, Councilmember, 25,000 straight out of the sales tax don't come back.
Correct, I know that.
Yeah, okay. I've got some questions on these things here. And what it would be is the Operation Greenlight is sponsored by the Mid-American Regional Council. The program works on the basis of timing signal plans. The program attempts to synchronize traffic signals in a given corridor by timing each one based upon a study of past traffic conditions. Think of it as a clock on each traffic signal. The problem with this 20-year-old technology is that the timing plans immediately begin to drift out of synchronization due to abnormalities in power supply and changing traffic patterns. Among other things, traffic patterns are constantly changing. The old system and methodology are incapable of adapting to this change. So in order for the traffic signals to function well, they need to adapt to changing traffic patterns automatically. The studies that have to be conducted and the monitoring and retiming the signals is expensive. By contrast, adaptive signals that rely on artificial intelligence to react to real-time conditions do not have to be constantly readjusted based on guesswork about traffic patterns will be. They measure actual conditions at an intersection. With an adaptive signal controller, you will no longer be stopped at a red light, even there is no cross traffic. The question I have is which corridors of the City of Independence currently have the Operation Greenlight status and how well are they working? The federal and city money that's being spent on outmoded signal timing would be better spent in real-time adaptive controls. Can you speak to that?
Sure. I believe what you're talking about is Operation Greenlight is a program that we pay that's actually an offshoot of the Mid-America Regional Council, and that's actually a service that they provide for us that we pay an annual amount of about $24,000 a year. So we don't have staff. Basically, they are constantly monitoring all of the traffic signals and adjusting those for us. In fact, they oftentimes find backups or issues that are going on at certain signals or locations before we're even aware of them, and they give us a call, and we work together with them to get those kind of things worked out. What we're talking about here, though, is it has nothing to do with that service. This is buying controllers that have to go in the signals. So it's basically just replacing equipment. And that equipment you have to have whether you're doing an adaptive system or whether you're doing OGL, either way. You still have to have these controllers. We're just replacing some outdated controller equipment that needs to be replaced that you would have to do whether you did an adaptive system or stayed with OGL, either one.
So if we went to smart controllers that used artificial intelligence and would retime them, would this still be a controller that would be used?
It could, yes. It would be one that we would look to use, yes. This was recommended by staff and both from IPL and from Public Works.
Well, I don't care who recommended them. My question is, can they be upgraded to the smart technology?
Yeah, they can. Yes, they would be more like the ones that we have now would not be as likely to work with that. So what we're replacing them with would be.
Would be, okay.
Yes, with this
All right.
contract that we're asking
Because
for.
that's what I want to see is us to go to a modern system where so many times we've all been in a stoplight and there's no one anywhere near there. And you sit there at a red light while it goes through left turn, right turn, this turn, that turn, then you go. And sure as the world, as soon as you just look both ways, go through the policeman sitting in the parking lot across the street. So I just want to make sure if we go to a newer, modern system, which we need to go to, we don't spending $25,000 of our money and then some grant money on stuff that's now antiquated.
Right.
So this technology will get us into the future as well as what we need right now.
Yes.
So we have that ability to adapt into the future with
Yes.
this.
Okay, then I would support that then. Okay, thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Madam Mayor. Any further discussion? Madam Mayor? Or Madam Mayor? Madam City Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilmembers Huff,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Doherty.
Yes.
DeLucy.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
This brings us to our first readings this evening.
Bill number 19-018, an ordinance amending the zoning district map as to a tract of ground located at 2116 South Sterling Avenue from District 01 Office Residential to District R6 Single Family Residential in Independence, Jackson County, Missouri. Bill number 19-019, an ordinance amending the zoning district map as a tract of ground located at 1917 and 1919 South Scott Avenue from District R12 two-family residential to District R18/PUD moderate density residential planned unit development, and approve a preliminary development plan in Independence, Jackson County, Missouri. Bill number 19-020, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the City of Independence, acting through its municipal utility, Independence Power and Light, and MCI Metro Access Transmission Services Corp. for pole attachments. This will have no effect on the tax revenues or general revenues.
That brings us to council members' comments. Let's start Councilman Doherty.
Well, thank you, but nothing tonight. Yes, I know. I've said it all.
Councilman
I'm
Huff.
done.
Yes, Mr. City Manager, been getting a lot of calls on the charges on these phone, the ATMs and all, or the charges on the electric. Have we, one of them is that a lot of people can put them in a cart and they're only charged one time, or we're being charged $4.95. The guy owns 7 or 8 properties. It's that instead of putting it in a cart one time, it's 7 times. Another one was the e-checks. They're charging the same amount for that as normally it's like 50 cents or something. It's quite a bit higher. I think it's actually the $4.95. And the third one is how are we coming with negotiations on finding somebody cheaper on this?
Good questions, council member. I will tell you, I still appreciate the council's support of the recommendation to advance this so that the activities of the few aren't being paid for by the whole. However, that said, I had conversation just prior to this meeting with our Director of Finance and Administration, who dealt with this very same vendor in his previous role in previous community. We believe there's opportunities to get more competitive. May require some aggressive action on the part of the city, but we will be pursuing that to make sure that we're able to get this cost as low as possible and make it as convenient for our customers as we can. And I will keep the council eminently aware of those ongoing discussions as we move forward, but it is on our radar and something we plan to pursue aggressively.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeLucy.
I got your message, Mr. City Manager, about my calendar, and I apologize. I was too busy in the last few days to return that call. We can talk afterwards because I, of course, want the city calendar yesterday. So thank you very much.
I will tell you, we'll just go ahead and talk real quick.
Okay.
We have the functionality on the website now. We are working to make sure we get all of our users who have these various boards and commissions, and that this becomes a tool that's reliable for you, for the community, for everyone else. So now it's just a matter of making sure we get it populated with the right information. So almost there.
I really appreciate everybody working so hard on it. Thank you.
Councilman Roberson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to announce again to the city that we are planning our second Homeowners Association Summit a week from this Wednesday. So that's March 13th at 6 p.m. It's in the first floor of the police building. And we had about 14, I believe, HOAs there last year. I haven't talked with John Mayfield, and I want to thank John for helping me plan and organize this one again this year. John couldn't be with us this evening, but we'd like to invite all the HOAs, if possible, in Independence to be there. It's a week from this Wednesday, March 13th, 6 p.m. at the police building. It'll probably be just a little over an hour meeting, but it's a great time to be able to network with other homeowner association boards and presidents, since you share many of the same problems. We don't have any direct relationship and haven't had in the past with homeowners associations in the city, but we're trying to establish and cultivate that relationship because they do a lot of great things for their neighborhoods and for the city of Independence. So hope to see you there. I think there's over 40 in Independence. There's over 40 HOAs. Thanks.
I have nothing this evening. Mr. City Manager.
Yeah, very briefly, we continue, and I'm sure you all do too, to hear from our community about the potholes, the condition of the streets right now. We've had 16 winter storms, and I fear winter may not be done with us yet, and I do want to use this opportunity to thank all of our city staff who are responding to those storms and working in these very inclement conditions. We have, to this date, in between those 16 storms, filled 2,500 potholes across town. In some cases where we weren't satisfied with the response time, we've even gone onto roads that aren't ours to care for those, to make sure we're getting to that. And I want to thank our public works crew for that. If our citizens will continue to let us know, either on social media, by calling us, we will make sure that in between these storms we keep getting out there and getting those addressed, and then our street overlay program will be just around the corner. So thank you very much to our citizens for helping us with that.
Thank you for that update. I know they are working their butts off plowing snow that immediately turn around and fill in those potholes. So for sure they are working, and our citizens, please have a little bit of patience. We will get to it. Councilwoman.
I wondered if you would like to introduce the newest member of the city staff.
Well, I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Where are my manners? We lost our city attorney to retirement last fall, Dayla Bishop Schwartz, after about 30 years of service. In that interim period, the city was being served by Shannon Marcano. It's been a long day, I'm sorry. But we have come to terms with Shannon as our full-time attorney of record. So Shannon has 15 years of service in municipal law, has served a number of communities on both the Missouri and Kansas side, as well as working in private practice, brings a wealth of experience to the city. I know her expertise and vision aligns with mine and that of the city council, and so we're very excited to have her on board.
Welcome.
Well, with that, we will adjourn the city council meeting.
Was I overput?